Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Shri Gurudev ki jai. Word towards synonyms, translations and purpose by Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Guru Shishya Parampara Acharyagan ki jai. Shri Samasta Vaishnava Acharyagan ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna. Hope everybody is doing all right. Yeah, we have we'll be now doing question answers today for last week's class. Okay, so I just wanted to quickly check with everyone. So thank you very much to all those who have asked your questions. There's a very nice verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam which says, Munayah sadhu prashtoham bhavadbhir loka mangalam yat kritaha Krishna samprashno yayatma suprasidati. Said, so the author here, Sutta Goswami, he thanks all the sages for asking relevant questions, because these questions are meant for the welfare of all humanity. And Srimad Bhagavatam is where the person who asks the questions, the speaker, and the audience all are benefited. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So thank you very much once again for engaging me in Lord Krishna's loving devotional service. Hare Krishna. Okay, so before we start, I think we should make a reference for all those who don't have questions. You really don't have to be around. You can leave now the conversation because it may not be relevant to your knowledge. So it's up to you, entirely up to you. But if you are there, then please, you must be making yourself present in this class, and you must thank those devotees who have asked the questions. And if I speak any answers which are relevant and beneficial to everybody, then you must thank them for asking the questions, for the benefit of all there. Okay, thank you very much. Here, Srila Prabhu says his camera is disengaged because he's using another laptop, which is fine. It's fine. Hopefully, he can be interactive. For other devotees also, you should be pleased thanking them. Right. And as I said, you don't have to be around if you don't need to be. Thank you very much. Okay, so now the questions. So first, I think Divyanshi Mataji had asked some questions. She's mentioned to me that she is traveling back, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right, Divyanshi Mataji? And she may not be able to speak or have conversation. She's surrounded by devotees there. So anyway, that's what she has got to know. We will read her questions. Okay, I'll just read her points here. Yep, she had the current question. Hare Krishna, Ambarisa Dasa Devotees, Mataji, to everyone. I might be able to turn on my camera in 20 minutes or so. Okay, that's okay, no problem. But we will start with the questions so you can hear this. So, much as I probably not been able to attend last lectures, here are the questions. If Bhagavad Gita is an Upanishad, then how come it is not under Shruti, Prasthan, which consists of all the Upanishads? How is it that Mayavadis accept Upanishads, Shruti Shastra, but not Gita Upanishad, which is also an Upanishad? Yes, all these questions are very good. This question is very nice too. So it is not that Mayavadis do not accept Bhagavad Gita. They read Bhagavad Gita. It is a religious book for everybody, all the people who follow Sanatana Dharma. And because it is part of Mahabharata. And their most emphasis is on Vedanta Sutras. And especially the Vedanta Sutras for which the um, their commentary, which is written by Shankaracharya. So their whole focus is upon that, on the Vedanta Sutras. And don't misunderstand, their whole the sutra which has been written by, originally it is composed by Srila Vyasadeva, Vedanta Sutras. So he wrote all the Vedas, all the Upanishads, everything, all the Puranas, and he wrote then the Vedanta Sutras. So Vedanta, as I had mentioned before, Vedanta meaning unto of the Vedas. It's the end of all the Vedas. So to study all the Vedas, what is the summary? What is the end of it? The gist of it? Just like we read in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 15, as we discussed last time, Vedesha Sarver Aham Eva Vedyo. Of all the Vedas, I am to be known. So for we Vaishnavas, this is very important. From all the Vedas, Krishna has to be known. So we are satisfied with it. Yeah. But at the same time, for the sannyasis of Shankaracharya, they lay emphasis upon the Vedanta Sutras. Yeah. So that is the reason why, although they accept it, but the emphasis is upon this. Okay. I hope this clarifies the position there. Yeah. Okay. Now, second question here. Just for my understanding, I wanted to clarify this point, that as far as the scriptural references are concerned, there is no common point between us and the Mayavadis. Even though they do accept Bhagavad Gita as a religious text, but that is only up to a certain point. After that point, they follow the philosophy of the commentary of Bhagavan Shankaracharya. That's correct, which is in relation to impersonalism. But as per this verse 1 to 12, our argument is that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is fountainhead of our Hare Krishna movement, even though they may not accept Mahaprabhu as bona fide, has emphasized that Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentary on the Vedanta philosophy. And therefore, our devotional service is also as per Vedanta Shruti and not whimsical. Further, we also study the scriptures scrutinizingly so that our detachment is based on the foreground of knowledge and scripture of the scriptures and not emotionally driven. I'm not sure if I was able to express my understanding correctly, but please correct me if I'm wrong. No, that is correct. That is right. So you're making a statement and you're asking whether it is correct or not. So this is correct. This is part of my first answer. And um, so even they have got their own understanding of Srimad Bhagavatam. You will hear them also giving Bhagavad Saptas. It's very popular. You see, Krishna, anything about Krishna is very popular, and you cannot suppress it artificially. So we also study Vedanta Shruti. The word says, And our Vedanta Shruti also we study, and that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentary on the Veda, on the Vedanta Sutras. That is what it is. Yeah. So because it was accepted natural commentary, there was no need for writing separately, but we also wrote. Yeah. So your answer is correct there. So whenever you are back again, and if you have any questions, and we switch on the camera and you can interact. If it is anything else to be clarified, you can write to me there. So they lay emphasis upon the Vedanta Sutras written by Shankaracharya. It is called Sariraka Bhasya. This is their commentary, Shankaracharya's, Sripad Shankaracharya's commentary on the Vedanta Sutras. Shariraka Bhasya. Okay. And it is very deep. And I'll explain how it is deep, why it is deep also, as other questions are also answered. Number 3, in one of the discussion points regarding asking for money for construction of a temple, constructing a temple, it was that emphasized the best is of course to convert our home to a temple. But if 2,000, 4,000 people are coming, then money is needed. Prabhuji said that if they don't ask for money, then some other religion, or even the same religion, but other temple will ask for money. So it's better that they ask for money. Is this because ultimately we want the Hare Krishna movement to gain more momentum in whatever way possible? Even if some groups are unable to follow the perfect standard, please help me understand. Yeah, that is correct. To maintain temples, to maintain any structures, you require money. But that should not become the focal point. Temples or churches or mosques should not become a business house, which gives employment to people, lots of employment to people, which gives money-making mechanism. You have got plush lifestyles, debit cards like you have got in the business, debit cards given to the general managers. So the managers have their own debit cards. I've seen this. So up to them, we do not say anything more, but we just say that again, if you have something like a temple, you require people to come into the temple. So you'll promote the temple. You see? So the emphasis goes somewhere else. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's all right. As long as pure devotional service is performed. So Srila Prabhupada would say that in the temple, the pujaris should never be paid pujaris. I've written nothing, given some quotations of Prabhupada also. There is no question of giving money to anybody. And at that time, people would sell their properties and join the temples for free. And they would live communally. So those children who were born there, they lived in this environment, very beautiful. One of them said that we didn't even have a proper bed to sleep. It keep changing. The bed would keep changing also. So that common way of dressing and common pooling of resources. But then after Prabhupada's departure, things became very ugly there. And those who've been in the power took all the powers, and it became quite chaotic. So that is the reason why then you have got a situation where if people are paid pujaris and all those things, that is not Prabhupada agreed. So we have to be very careful with those things. So that is what I was trying to say. That if you require something for upkeep and maintenance, say I require so much money, and you show them this much money is collected, this money is done, so finish. Now we don't want any more money. That is perfect. That's very sattvic. That's what the churches or temples or mosques should do. But that's not how it is done. I'm sure there must be some people, some churches like this or some temples like this. I'm sure about this. As long as it is done that way, it is perfectly all right. You require it, take it, but it should not become a constant source of, here is a deity, here is a festival, give Abhishek, give 400,000, 2,000, 5,000. And those who give more money is give garlanded. And the person who follows that, one should earn only so much to keep one's body and life together, poor person is neglected. That is not how things should be. Yeah. So I hope these 3 points are clarified. All right. So once you are back, if you have any further clarification, you can ask them. Thank you very much. Now I would invite other devotees. Thank you very much for your. If you have questions, then if you can please ask us your questions. If you written down, who would like to go next?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Avuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. I had some questions, Prabhu.
Yes,
I
please. Thank
posted
you
up.
very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. So my first question was about the Vedanta Shruti that we uh, discussed last week, Prabhu. So
Yeah.
we discussed about. So I just wanted to first clarify that Vedanta Shruti means the Upanishads and the Mahabharata and all the Puranas. They are Vedanta, and commentary on Vedanta is different. Like we have Govinda Bhasar. That is commentary on those Vedanta part.
No,
So
no, no, no. There is something called Vedanta Sutras. So Vedanta Sutra is written by Vasudeva, Vyas Bhagwan, who wrote, as I mentioned before, who wrote all the Vedas and Upanishads. And then he wrote the Mahabharata and the Itihasas and Puranas. Yeah. And then he wrote Vedanta Sutras also. There are more than 400 sutras, which compresses the whole thing. And he wrote in a way that is personalism. But then each of these sampradayas in Sanatan Dharma, which brought with Hinduism or Sanatan Dharma, they have to have their own understanding of these sutras, because they are the end point of the Vedas. So if there is a particular lineage, then they have to have what is your end point of understanding of the Vedas. Tell us this. So that is how they have to write very detailed analysis of what was written by Srila Vyasadeva. Is that okay?
So Prabhuji, sutras meaning a book, like Vedanta
Yeah,
Sutra is a book?
yeah, there are codes. Yeah, there are, sutras means codes, complex codes. Like you write computer codes. So those codes, when you write down those codes, the software acts in a particular way. What is displayed in a particular way. So sutras are codes, and codes have to be deciphered. Okay. So it is for that Vedanta Sutras, it is mentioned. And Govinda Bhasha was written much later on for our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Is that okay? Does that answer your question?
Yes, Prabhuji. I had a follow-up question on that.
Yes,
this
please,
one.
please.
You mentioned, Prabhuji, that it is like my question was the same. That is it the understanding of Vedanta Sutta by particular sampradaya? Is it the correct way to say that their understanding of what Vedanta means to them?
Yes, that's right.
So that means it would be different for various sampradayas, like for
That's
because
correct. That's correct.
so our understanding and impersonalists like Sripad Sankacharya's understanding, like their sampradaya, would be different conclusions because they
Yeah,
focus on
completely.
impersonal.
Yeah, completely.
Prabhuji, amongst our Vaishnava sampradayas, because we focus on personal feature of the Lord. So
Yes.
are these different in all these four sampradayas? Because even in my family follows the sampradaya of Sripad Vallabhacharya, so they had Anubhasya, book name
Yeah.
Anubhasya.
Yeah.
So these differ from each other in
Yes, slightly
Vaishnava
different. That's why I said that. See, then there is also Sri Ramanujacharya Sampradaya. So they have got, so there is Dvaitavad. We have Madhvacharyas. So there is Dvaitavad. Then there is Vishishta Dvaitavad. Okay. Similarly, like this, there are different. And we are in that Dvaitavad, we are Achinta Bheda Bheda Tattva. In that. So all of you should understand this at this level. This deep knowledge nobody will give you. I'm sure none of your parents also understood all those things. What is this? What is that? But in simplistic form, Srila Prabhupada has given it in an elaborate manner. We are trying to say the same thing in simple form right now because with our understanding, limited understanding. Prabhupada has written very deeply in different scriptures. So ultimately, Vaishnavas are talking about personalism of Krishna. And Mayavad philosophy is impersonalism. They are called Mayavad because the basic premise is this, like our basic understanding is this, that Krishna has got multifarious energies, correct? You heard this at the very beginning when you joined in. That is where our personalism starts. Because the Mayavad philosophy says that the Brahman and his energies are non-different, they are the same. Whereas we are saying no, they are different. There's external energy, there's marginal energy, there is superior energy, but they are different to Krishna. Simultaneously one and different. So even other sampradayas will say, yes, Krishna, the energy are different. He manifests a material world in a particular with a particular energy, spiritual world particular energy. Correct. But there will be slight differentiation there also in it. Achinta Bheda Bhed is ours. But what Mayavad says that no, there is no difference between the creator, which is Brahman, and his energies. So when Brahman distributes himself into so many different living forms, living beings, like there are so many kind of species of human beings and animals and birds, 8.4 million, and then there is earth, water, fire, air, ether, all these things. So when he sort of disperses so much, then he loses his personal form. He loses his form. This is my small understanding of how it is, please. There are big scholars who understand much deeper. But in simplistic terms, for our knowledge right now, this is their understanding. That because of this, when he distributed so much, he loses his form. Whereas we are saying, no, God is one, but he's got different energies. Energies work for him. That's how Krishna, he's got his first expansion, second expansion, all these things. So Mayavad also accepts this, that Narayan, his expansion, Baladev, all those things. But they say, oh, well, this is how, but they have to do word jugglery very deep. And for that, they have to know the grammar perfectly well. They twist out some other meaning. Like, for example, many times we say, you must have heard us saying, even Avinash was giving a class, he would say this, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo. So, Aham, I am. So, I am means personalism. We will say this thing, okay, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, I am the source of all spiritual material. So, if he is impersonal, how can he say I am? If energy doesn't say I am, energy does not say such things, right? So, because of this, the energy, they have to twist out and somehow or other bring out some other meaning of it. To say, no, it is not him. Aham means not him, but the unborn in him. So if you read some other Bhagavad Gitas from Mayavadis, including Dr. Radhakrishna's, Prabhupada would say, they would say that no, it is not Krishna who's saying this, it is the unborn in Krishna who's unborn in everybody who's saying this. But we say, keep it simple, man. You say, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo. Matah Sarvam Prabhava. From me, everything emanates. Sanskrit cannot be changed. So this is how things becomes different. So this is how the main difference is between personalism and impersonalism. Is that okay? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
It will be more clearer as you study more and as we discuss about this more. Because that verse which Krishna spoke about, I said this verse is not as simple as it looks, And what question he had, I said this question is not as simple as it can be answered in one way. See? Because this particular verse has to be understood in very different ways. It's talking about Vedanta Shruti, which is the forte of Mayavadis. And we say we are also the same way. You can't tell us we are just emotional people, Okay, right? Is this question is answered? Yes.
Yes, sir.
You have other questions, please? Any other question from you? Or was it the only question?
These two questions I had written down.
Okay. Thank you very much. So I can see Divanshi Mataji is here now. The other question answered, Mother?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much for arranging these classes. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to ask my questions.
Yeah, no.
I just had one.
Thank you for asking the questions. Hare Krishna.
I just had one more question. Like just the first part of my first question, which was that just a second, that if Bhagavad Gita is an Upanishad, then how come it is not under Shruti Prasthan and it is under Smriti Prasthan? Because I remember in the class you said that all the Upanishads they come under Shruti Prasthan And then under Smriti Prasthan come the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, etc. So that was also one part of the question that I just wanted some clarification on. I don't know if you answered the question because I was
Yeah.
surrounded by a lot of noise, but yeah.
Yeah. Smriti is also remembrance. Shruti is hearing. So Bhagavad Gita technically is both because it's spoken by Krishna himself as God. Okay. And it is also remembered in Bhagavatam, in the Mahabharata, because it is written in Mahabharata. Mahabharata becomes a history, ancient history. So it's part of Mahabharata. So it becomes Shruti because spoken by Vyasadeva and written by Lord Ganesha. Mahabharata was spoken by by Bhagwan Vyasadeva and written by Ganesha, Lord Ganesha. There is still a cave existing, yeah, in Badrikashram where this is written, yeah. So the same way, Bhagavad Gita for us as personalists, it is Shruti also because it is part of the Vedas spoken directly. Shruti means spoken directly also, yeah, as Vedic mantras, the Vedas and Upanishads, and it is Smriti also because it is also written afterwards as remembrance. Because Vyasadeva gave ears and eyes to Sanjaya. Sanjaya, sitting in his palace of Dhritarashtra, saw the whole thing and narrated the whole thing to Dhritarashtra, which was again captured by Vyasadeva in the form of book, which we are reading. You understand this point?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. But Mayavadis may not accept that it is Shruti also. He said, no, we don't accept that Krishna doesn't, they don't accept Krishna as this. You know? So he said, okay, well, for us it is both. Yeah, okay. Any other points which I answered is clarified? Anything else?
Yes, Prabhuji. As far as I was able to hear, everything made sense. Thank you so much for answering my questions, Prabhuji. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
thank you very much for your questions. Hare Krishna. Yes, who had other questions, please? Srishti Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Bol Mother. Thank you very much for your questions, Mother. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yes, Prabhuji. My question was very simple questions, Prabhuji, but I didn't understand some of the things from the verse which has been shared and discussed in the class. So it was mentioned that less intelligent class of transcendentalist.
Hmm.
So just wanted to clear about what is less intelligent. It has been discussed many a times that people, only the ones who are intelligent, they join Krishna consciousness. But what does this mean about less intelligent class of transcendentalists?
Yeah, okay. So, thank you very much. See, the thing is, Mother, Krishna consciousness, Hare Krishna is the same personalism. Those who are Vaishnavas, broadly Vaishnavas. Yeah, okay. So, Krishna re bhaje Sevara Chatur. That's what Prabhupada would say this. It's a Bengali proverb. Those who worship Krishna are very clever people. So, ultimately, common sense is very uncommon, it is said, right? Why is it said uncommon? Tell me. Why common sense is uncommon? What is the meaning of common sense? Sense means something which is sensing. Common, common understanding is very uncommon. What does it mean? Simple things are very uncommon. People like to complicate things. Just as example which we gave to in our example, so Pradyumna Prabhu, that aham Saraswati Prabhu, Krishna says, they say, no, no, aham means it's not Krishna saying. We are saying Krishna is saying aham, so Krishna is talking to Arjuna. Why do you want to take out another meaning to say, create a meaning, invent a meaning to say, it's not Krishna, but Krishna's energy inside him, the unborn, who's never born, he is giving this, it is him who's creating things, not Krishna. He's Nimitta Matra. We say, everybody, he's saying, I am the source of all spiritual material worlds. And why are we talking about all these things? Whole thought Bhagavad Gita he says, Mata param taram nanyat kinchirasi dhananjaya. So from me, everything emanates. And the whole material universe creation is like they are like a necklace of pearls, and I'm the string which binds this. He says this clearly. I am the string. He said, "Why? No, it is not Krishna who's string. He's some." So this is where the answer is. Those who are transcendentalists, even Mayavadis are transcendentalists. Philosophers are also transcendentalists. If they are not all philosophers, speculators, but those who are deep enough, they read scriptures, they're transcendentalists too. So we should not have a very small sectarian meaning of transcendentalists, meaning only those who are Vaishnavas. No, no, no. All are transcendentalists. And among them, those who accept Krishna as supreme is, Prabhupada says that they are superior. But they will think you are superior, they are superior, we are inferior. So we just chant up and dance, We're just chanting and dancing, chanting Japamala. I was told by so many of my seniors, old people, so what are you doing at this age, in this age, meaning not my age, I was very young at the time, but not that I'm very old now, but at this day and age, so you're chanting? What are you doing? This is exactly what the person said. It's quite old to me. You see? So they would say, others would say that when you are when you become enlightened, you stop doing deity worship, or you stop worshipping Krishna as a person. Before that, you can do. This is again Mayavad philosophy. They say when you become enlightened, you stop speaking. We say now you have to speak more. You see? So, and because this is how it is. They said ultimately everything comes down to even the body is made up of earth. So body becomes earth, a pot becomes earth when they die. So what's the difference? So that is correct. Now there was one movie which was made, very old movie, I think it was a Sanskrit movie, on Shripad Ramanujacharya. I think it was him only, or Madhvacharya movie. I do not know. I'd seen long ago, where everybody was at the time, the people were very much, they were Buddhists, means Shunyavad. That's why the word Shunya, the letter Shunya, zero, was invented, so-called, in India. It was existing much before that. It was written down, zero. It is very important in mathematical calculation, zero, because before it was invented, so-called, in mathematics, they could not do mathematics. But it is wrong, bogus, because we've been doing it for so many years, unlimited years before that. But Shunyavad comes from that. Okay, Jainism or Buddhism. Okay, so the Shunyavad, Shunya, zero, they were all Shunyavadis. Now you'll be able to understand this example better. In the past, I had given to people, but they couldn't quite relate to it because these questions were not asked. I just gave them an information. Now see, so I think Madhvacharya, Srimad Madhvacharya were arguing with the uh, uh, so there was at that time what used to happen was that the sannyasis or gurus who had followers, they'll be challenged by other sannyasis or gurus. So when there's a public debate, and whichever guru wins, sannyasi wins, he has to become the guru of this other. So he becomes a disciple, and all his followers also become a disciple. That's how mass conversions took place. Yeah. So whenever there would be the big uh, sannyasis of Buddhism, Buddhists, logic, they would do logic. Buddhism is logic only. They would walk around. At the time, it was prevalent. That's why King Ashoka accepted Buddhism there, in India also. So it was prevalent. To counter that, Lord Shankara, Bhagavan appeared as Shankaracharya. He's called Bhagavan Shankaracharya, is incarnation of Lord Shiva. Okay, so they were Vedic followers were very afraid. Very many, they were minority, very minority. Sanatana Dharma people. Most of them were Buddhist. So they would walk around and they would run away. So at that time, then this very new I think this Madhvacharya only, yeah. So he challenged, he said, I'll challenge. He accepted the challenge. So he said, here is a glass of water. Here's a glass, okay? I'm pouring water now. This much water. Okay, so it is water here. Madhvacharya says, yes, there's water here. He poured other water on top of it. So the whole glass becomes water. So this is how it is. Simple. You can't understand this? This is what the Buddhist sannyasi said. Now, very correct, right? What argument will you give to this? But Madhvacharya said, hold on, let us do it again. He said, no, this is a glass which is empty. Now you put one part of water. So you put one part of water. Now you're putting other part of water, that's why water increases. How does it increase? So it is not 1, it is 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. You are saying 1 plus 1 is equal to 1. How is it possible? It increases in the quantity. And then, he shook him. And he had to accept him as his guru. And all his followers become the guru. This is the point where Buddhists and Mayavadis, they say that, okay, the earth, everything is going to become earth. So it is all earth only, zero only. So it's not 0, it is 1. So, and to understand this concept that because the ultimately the creator, the Brahman, and his energies are non-different. And when he expands, everything becomes impersonal. So they have to accept the fact for this that ultimately whatever is created is all Maya. It doesn't exist in its true nature. It doesn't exist only. So what we're living is a life in simulation. You hear these things. Even in modern scientists, they say we're simulation. These are all Mayavadi philosophy in different form. So life is a life in simulation. It is not real. So they have to invent this word also, Mayavad. That's why they're called Mayavadis, because they say ultimately everything is Maya. Maya means that which is not, making us believe that it is true. That's why they're called Mayavadis. So they say that your body is also not true. The world is also not true. Everything is destroyed. It's all is untrue. So that's why Mayavadis, we are calling them, they have been called Mayavadis for this reason. Yeah. And we say, personalists says, no, it is true, but it is temporary. That is a personalist point, which has to be understood. So in this context, all these arguments are given and knowledge is given to you in systematic manner. But because we did that particular verse, it is a very important verse that all is coming together at a little bit advanced early stage for many of you, but this side is coming together. Before that, we are giving in some knowledge in bits and pieces, okay? But you will have an overall picture. Is this point clear to you, Mother?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very nice. Are there any other questions? You had other questions also?
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji, the second question was, there are many people outside Krishna consciousness who worship Krishna sincerely in their own ways.
Yeah.
And devotional service by them is not considered. How can I relate this verse to?
No, it's not considered. No. It's considered. Who said it's not considered? But there's a but here. Knowledge is very important. Otherwise, emotions becomes what?
Yes.
You may be speculating also. We see so many times people when you give a class, they start to cry. They are like in ecstasy and all those things. So that's okay. We see so many of people who are joining us. They come and say there's an energy. We feel very good with the energy. You must have heard. So they start with this. Don't worry, come join us. Slowly they understand what is the energy and all. So without foundation of knowledge, this may not sustain too long. Yeah, but they can be Krishna conscious. But that's why what knowledge is needed, you require sampradaya. Because each of them have got different understanding of God, Creator. Now you understand the meaning of the sampradayas. You'll be more
Yes.
clear about this. So if you don't have any of these things, you just worship Krishna as God, which is okay. I know people who worship Krishna, someone is truly attached to Krishna, truly attached to Krishna as a brother, as a sister, as whatever, on this. And they follow some way what they can follow. Yeah. Knowledge they may not have. They say, yeah, I've studied Bhagavatam. I said, very good. I said, okay. I'm still studying, and we don't say this, but it's very good. But this is the way. Yeah. So we also have to have this relationship with Krishna, which many times we do not have the relationship. Because they're attached to Krishna. We are not that attached to Krishna still. I mean, I'm not attached to Krishna, that's still. You're too attached to the knowledge and all those things. Ultimately, the knowledge has to bring us close to Krishna. I love Krishna, Krishna loves me. He has forgiven me, so how can I not forgive other people? He is accepting me as I am, so why should I should not accept others as mine? When he's forgiving me, why cannot I forgive other people? Why? Because I love him. So this, because I love him, is not coming out easily from me. And that's what I want to instill upon everybody to say, because I love Krishna. What it is? Oh, because I love Krishna. Full stop. Matter ends there. No further argument. A person speaking, I mean, India also, I mean, Western world also. What it is? I'm a worshipper of Krishna. I love him. That's why. And he says, don't do this, so I don't do it. Full stop. There's no argument, right? So this is why, in this particular verse of Bhagavatam, he says that knowledge is based upon Vedanta Shruti. So it is said that you have to be in this. Our knowledge is based on Vedanta Shruti. Detachment. We'll see this verse again. Krishna, whenever you can. Is it ready with you now?
Yes, it is. Just need to be made co-host.
Okay, I'll make a co-host. Yeah. Tashraddhana munayo gnana vairagya yuktaya pashyanti atmani chatmanam bhakta shruta gruhitaya. Let's come to the translation. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The seriously inquisitive student or sage, well equipped with knowledge and detachment, realizes the absolute truth by rendering devotional service in terms of what he has heard from Vedanta Shruti. So Vedanta Shruti becomes the foundation by which our knowledge comes and detachment comes, and by which we worship the absolute truth, who is Krishna, not just God, not just controller, he is absolute truth, and we perform devotional service to him. This is the meaning of it. So if we combine, thank you, Krishna, we can stop it now. So when we combine our previous discussions, where we spoke about how we are in the search of absolute truth. A religion is not talking about absolute truth. They say you join here and it's done. You say no, it's a search, lifelong search. This is a verse. Bhagavatam talks about these things. It's very scientific. So this requires deep thinking. And I'm very happy you guys are asking, these questions. I'm very, very happy. It benefits everybody. Yeah? Because the more questions we ask, the more we can discuss it. The no questions asked, we are just superficial, we are just there, yeah, same thing, Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Any other questions you had? Is this question answered, Mother?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Any other questions you had?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, it was, I think moreover this question has been answered about Upanishads and Vedanta literature, that my thinking was when we are reading Srila Prabhupada's books and Srimad Bhagavatam verses and Bhagavad Gita, then is it sufficient, is it not sufficient for our spiritual progress? Do we need to read Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra? But now it's clear that Upanishad and Vedanta Shruti, like you mentioned about Vedanta Shruti and Smriti, it is also like the part of it is a part of Vedas only.
Yeah, Bhagavad Gita.
Before,
Yes.
yeah,
Vedanta
before
Sutras,
I was thinking that Upanishads and Vedant is different, but Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, it is considered as a part of Vedas.
Yeah,
Through
by us. Yeah, that's right.
There was one.
See, Upanishads are part of Vedas. Each Vedas, the 4 Vedas are there. Each of the Vedas had 108 Upanishads. They are called supplementary knowledge. So if you can't read the Vedas, you read the Upanishads. Okay, but all of them are lost, and very few are remaining now. Of which there are about 4 or 5 which are very important Upanishads. Of which we'll be studying one Upanishad of this, Shisha Upanishad, in the intermediate level. Because where's the time to read any of those things? You know? It's very deep. So we study Upanishads. And that's why all this is then summarized as Vedanta Sutras. And the Vedanta Sutras has to be written, commented upon by each sampradayas. Okay.
Yes.
Even that we cannot read, you know. To read Govinda Bhasya is so difficult.
And you mentioned that each sampradaya is elaborated that Vedanta Sutra, each Vedanta Sutra, those 5.
Sutras. Yeah, that's right. Vedanta Sutra is one Vedanta Sutra, which there are over 500 plus sutras in Vedanta Sutra. So they have to give detailed commentaries upon it to prove the material world, spiritual world, and how they manifest, what not manifest, all those things, you know. Yeah.
Prabhuji, it's still not clear to me, but still I have to wander into those concepts about Upanishads and Vedanta.
Yeah, no problem.
There was a 4th question, Prabhuji, that it is written, without hearing and following the instruction, the show of devotional service become worthless, and therefore a sort of disturbance in the path of devotional service. So my question was, how can a devotional service become worthless?
No, you are taken out of context. Read the whole paragraph. I'm sure Srila Prabhupada are talking like this, you know, about neophyte devotees who just think worshipping deity in the temple is important. And they flock for listening to, Bhagavad Saptas and all those things without proper study. Yeah, that's what Prabhupada is saying this in the context.
Yes, in that context only. And it was mentioned that without hearing and following the instruction, the show of devotional service become worthless.
Yes. I mean, how can you? If you just, after listening to it also, you say, I'm worshipping Krishna, but then again, you're attached to a lot of other things, you know. You may be eating only sattvic food and all those things, but you're attached to material things, politics, talking about other people, all these things. And what is the level? You know, it's show off. It's a show off. It's not existing because you don't have knowledge. Knowledge is one thing. To gain knowledge is itself difficult. And to sit and think whether my behavior is as per this knowledge or not is the most important thing. This part is very difficult for people to do, and they do not do, including to me. But when we do this, then we will see whether we are doing properly or not, according to what is being given. There is also given in Bhagavatam. This is how Manu, he perfected himself. By reading, studying, memorizing, and then thinking over it. Vicharana paro. He thought over it. Whether my actions are as per this or not. See? And once we do that, then we are changing. Otherwise, we are creating disturbance. And I have seen people just run. You will see thousands of them going to Bhagavad Saptas and this and that, but their life is not changed. They still talk about other people. They still are, materially conscious. So only we ourselves know how much materially conscious we are or we are not. Is it all right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Any other questions you have on this? Or?
Thank you,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
Thank you very much for your questions. It is for my benefit. Okay? Hare Krishna. Yes, we had also Who had Deepak Prabhu had asked questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you,
Haribol.
Prabhuji.
Thank you very much for your questions, Prabhuji, for engaging me. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, my question was like the first question. The translation was the seriously inquisitive sage, student or sage, well equipped with knowledge and detachment, realizes the absolute truth. And in the upper part, it was written that Brahman and Paramatma realizations are imperfect realization of absolute truth.
Yeah.
So for realizing the whole absolute truth, uh, like knowledge and detachment must be there. But as we studied earlier, absolute truth is Krishna, but Krishna is not only absolute truth. So what we need to realize Krishna? What is missing apart from knowledge and detachment?
Okay. I think your question is a little. Tell me if I reframe the question. Okay. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not trying to be over smart. I'm just trying to understand as I'm serving you. Yeah. So what you are trying to say is this: that why knowledge of Paramatma and Brahman are inferior, are incomplete. So what is complete knowledge? Is it what you're asking us in simple terms?
Yes, Prabhuji, like what is complete knowledge to realize Krishna, not only absolute truth, as Krishna is not only absolute truth.
Yeah, Krishna is absolute truth. Krishna is absolute truth. But you must understand one thing, that Paramatma realization is a super soul realization. Super soul is Paramatma sitting in every living being's heart. In fact, it is also in every non-living being also. Kan kan mein base hai Ram. Let us say it in Hindi. This is the meaning. Kan kan means even non-living beings. Lord Ram is existing. This is the meaning. Okay. Now, Brahman realization is the energy of Krishna, from the body rays of Krishna. Okay. Right. Now, body rays of Krishna, to realize it, gives you some information. Paramatma realization is a partial also realization, because it talks only about Paramatma. And there's a third step in bhakti. And these two steps are also good enough. But the third step where the prem comes is with Bhagavan realization, where the relationship exists. Now, Bhagavan means Bhagyavan, one who has got all six opulences, all strength, all knowledge, all opulences, all beauty, etc., etc., all richness. So, to understand Bhagavan, you will have to understand that Bhagavan consists of the Brahma Jyoti, which is coming from his bodily rays, and the Paramatma, which is him only, Bhagavan, but coming as a small partial expansion and living in the heart of all living beings as Purusha avatars. It is from this Kshirodakshai Vishnu, which is the Paramatma, that all other incarnations come of Krishna. Okay? Right. Same personality which is in everyone's heart as Paramatma, all other incarnations come. Okay? Right. But these two understanding of Brahman, impersonal Brahman, which is from the body rays of Krishna, and Paramatma, they are not complete understanding of Krishna. Because you have not seen Krishna. You see that the Paramatma is still 400 Vasudeva form as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam starts from the first canto and all is from the feet of Krishna. It's like feet of Krishna. First canto and all is from the feet, then it goes up to knees, yeah, then the legs, thighs, yeah, then the stomach area, the chest, and the shoulders. Then 10th canto where Krishna comes, that is the face. So to come to the face, one has to go through the feet above. Now see, this particular verse is only the first canto, second chapter only. Just imagine it, we're spending so much time in this. And there are whole different sampradayas which talks about, Krishna is impersonal, and they have got their own, Bhagavan Shankaracharya has her own sampradaya for it. It is so vast, so difficult on this. And we just read it and we just finish it now, move on. So what we want as a study group, what we want is, it is this point that as study group, if our focus is studying, then we must be very serious about these things. Just 1, 2, and this verse in second chapter, it is so deep in it. How can we jump to 10th canto of Krishna's pastimes? Although we give that pastime, and I'm very reluctantly we speak about Krishna's pastime. I'm very much against it. But what to do? The world is such today that anybody can lure anybody to say, have you heard about Krishna's pastime with that, Krishna's pastime with this? And if you say, I do not know, then what are you learning then? So it is we're giving you this with some philosophy there. So yes, I know about this. I know about this pastime with Rukmini, and this is why Krishna he says that he doesn't have any money. He's pauper. How do you define that? Yeah, because he is owner of everything. He is absolute truth. His answer. Wow, how did you know this? And now to understand is a little difficult, but at least you've got this. You see. So this is the reason why the first aspect of the Paramatma, the Brahman, then Paramatma are not fully about Krishna. You see? And then we have to understand there are so many incarnations of Krishna. There is Leela Avatar, which is Krishna, part of Krishna. There's Guna Avatar. There's Manvantara Avatar. Then there's Yuga Avatar. You see? So he is constantly coming. In one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus, 14 Indras. With each of these Indras, the Saptarishis change. And Krishna appears in each Manvantara of Manu also. He comes. In other incarnation, not he comes as partial expansion or partial expansion, but they all are Krishna, all Vishnu Tattvas. They were all different moods of worship. But the love, what the gopis had, which inherent, which we all feel, comes only in Krishna. And he comes only at this age. You see? And each Manu lives for 71 Yuga Avatar, that's 71 Yuga cycles. And we're on 38th Yuga cycle of Kali Yuga, where Krishna had just appeared now. Imagine if he had come before this, Krishna would not have been there. So loving Krishna in loving devotional service like coward boys would not be existing at that time. Although you may hear it, but it will not be there, not existing. Because other incarnation is there. They worship Krishna accordingly there. You see? Like Ajita and all, there are different incarnations, Vishnu Tattvas. They come. But their worship is different. And then there are very special incarnation, like that of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are very fortunate. We just came 400 years after Mahaprabhu. He doesn't come regularly. And he says, don't worry about it, just chant Hare Krishna. In Kali Yuga, you can't do any of these things. Chant Hare Krishna. You chant Hare Krishna. And we can still go to Mahaprabhu's birthplace and all this, And Krishna, before the Krishna's birthplace. Krishna was covered, now we're open. You see? We understand these points, Prabhuji? Is it okay? So this is the reason why the Brahman realization and the Paramatma realization are very partial. Is perfect. They also are good enough. But they are partial. The love comes, and complete comes from Bhagavan realization. So in summary, you also heard me saying that the sun's rays gives you all things, for existence. Correct? So somebody may think, oh, then the rays are God. Then somebody else will say, no. But rays are coming from somewhere, right? Yeah, where is it coming from? From the sun. So then the rays are also God and the sun is also God. Equal to everybody. Right. Then others would say, no, but hold on. The sun is there, is equal to everybody, but there is some nature, no? Why is he equal to everybody? Why is he so merciful to everybody? Where is that nature coming from? I want to understand that nature. That is Bhagwan understanding. Because the sun rays will pick up urine also and water also, and it purifies everything and brings us rain, pure water. Just imagine this. Somebody will say, "Oh, God." No. How can it discriminate and still not discriminate? That means the nature behind it is God, is Krishna, the sun.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, you lagged out just on the point about the sun rays and illuminating.
Yeah. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Some will say that the rays are God, yeah, because it doesn't discriminate. Others will say that no, but the rays are coming from somewhere. So that is God. The disk of sun is God. And we say no, but the disk is again just the outward form. The nature of sun is very important. It doesn't discriminate to everybody. So nature, so everything is God. This, and this. Yeah. And accordingly, there are spiritual and material creation descriptions are given accordingly, which may differ with again other people. And our is dependent upon Brahma Samhita. So Brahma Samhita is where Lord Brahma, after creation, he was revealed and he wrote Brahma Samhita. And that was again forgotten. But Mahaprabhu, when he went to South India 400 years ago, he found out one temple and those Brahma Samhita written. So he copied it. At the time, there was no Xerox copy. He copied, means he wrote down copying. He made copies of it. And that's how it came in our Sampradaya, Brahma Samhita. So we worship Brahma Samhita, we sing. You see? Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami. So these are deep philosophy points, and everything that Srila Prabhupada speaks about comes from this Mahaprabhu only, Mahaprabhu's instructions. Everything, including we say living beings has 4 defects. We say make mistakes, MICS, propensity to make mistakes in an illusion, uh, cheating, and senses are imperfect. There is spoken of Mahaprabhu in countering Mayavadis. So Prabhupada spoke from there. Then the sparks, which are part of the fire only. But because the spark goes away, it fire capacity goes away. Yeah, because material. So we are there like that sparks, living beings. We can be either close to fire, we become fire, or from fire, we become non-fire, matter. Yeah, we are. So that is Mahaprabhu's arguments again, Mayavadi. So Prabhupada are giving us. So Prabhupada did not create anything new. Just simply said as it is. Okay, is this point clear to you, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Any other questions you have?
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
It's
Yes, sir.
partially answered also. So the question was, the text was written, the third class devotees or the neophytes who have no knowledge and are not detached from material association, but who are simply attracted by the preliminary process of worshipping the deity in temple are called material devotees. So Prabhuji, my question was like, we studied that bhakti cannot be bound. We can't say ki do this, then only you can achieve Krishna or do bhakti. So the thing was like, it's answered knowledge and detachment should be there, the one we discussed. But now the question comes like, where does the knowledge come from? Like from knowledge, like we discussed that Bhagwan realization, the relationship is necessary. So from knowledge, love comes, or love should be there, then knowledge comes. If I love somebody, I research more about it, or if I research more about it, then the love naturally develops. How it
First
goes.
to require is faith. Okay, Aro Shraddha in that process. Then after that, over a period of time, then knowledge is there. Then once you implement the knowledge, then detachment will come. As I was explaining just now, that people are studying the knowledge, even that is difficult to study the knowledge. But even if they are studying the knowledge, they are not sitting and implementing it. We should simply implement. Difficulty with me. Then detachment will come. Yeah. And once it is there, then with it, love will come. But with Krishna, the thing is all these things come together. Simultaneously, you are like when you are hungry or when you're thirsty, you drink water. So drinking water and quenching thirst happens together. So this is with Krishna consciousness. Now those in the temple deity worship, they think only that is supreme and they don't care for knowledge and detachment. That is wrong. That's why they are called neophytes. Deity worship is perfectly alright. Okay. So that's why even for deity worship Pancharadhika Vidhi, even that is perfectly alright, bona fide. Starting with that, you can still go back to Godhead. Yeah. Therefore neophyte there. But there is no other option but to study also and chant also Hare Krishna. So this is not the age. You see, the age is not about only deity worship, opulent deity worship. That's why things become very contaminated things. It's very difficult. Otherwise, you start to make money everywhere. So our money-making propensity should be away from devotional service. Oh, doesn't mean you should not make money. Of course, you should make money, but don't bring it into a preaching or devotional service or whatever. That is not right. The materialistic thinking. Oh, if I don't ask money, somebody else will ask money. It's material thinking. It is nothing spiritual in it. Correct? You understand this? So the same argument Vivansha Mataji was writing, we had given last time, that either if I don't ask for money, somebody else will ask for money. Ultimately, it is material thinking. So let me better me ask for money. Is it not so? Asking for it is difficult. You are required for this reason, no problem, you can do so. Like Srila Prabhupada, when Prabhupada landed on the shore in USA, Prabhupada had no money, zero. When he landed, so he told the captain of the ship, Captain Vaidya, he said, Captain Vaidya, I have no money, no dollar. So I've got some Srimad Bhagavatam with me. If I give you one copy, can you give me money for that? So how much do you require for this copy? It's $16. So he gave him copy and he gave him $20. That was his money to come into America. After he landed in America. Now you tell me, how many of us can do this? And today, if you are going to make big structure for this and take money every time, how does this work? What is pure devotional service here? There, you tell me. So we are not criticizing anybody. We have no business to look into other people at all. All I'm saying is we are understanding the concepts. That's why. Nothing else. That's why we say it is neophyte. We're answering your question. That's why Prabhupada says that deity worship and the thing only temple worship is neophyte for neophytes. Because you have to have foreground of knowledge and detachment also with it. This is not all in all. This is the point to be understood. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. More will be clearer as time goes by, as you study more, you'll be hear more on this. But this is a fact there, that you cannot think only that Krishna is only inside a temple or inside a church, inside a mosque. That is a very limited thinking. That is not correct. You study this in the also, in the intermediate level. Yeah. So good, at this level you're asking the question in the beginner's program. It will help you. It helps me. You understand. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So any other questions you have got?
No, Prabhuji, I'll think more on it and make more notes on this topic.
Please. Notes for yourself. Our notes benefits us. Very nice. Very nice. All the best. Okay. I just wanted to check if anybody else had any questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Just one small follow-up question that we follow a very specific, very specialized philosophy, even under Vaishnavism, like Brahma Madhva, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, and then we follow it under the mode of Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj. So it is. I'm sorry, I'm joining from two devices. Sorry, Prabhuji. Yeah. So my question was that this is the perfect knowledge, but is it possible for people for anybody to become a pure devotee without this specific perfect knowledge? Would it be possible, or it's not
No,
like?
no, no. See, that's why Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that you require a guru. You see, he says, approach a spiritual master and inquire submissively. But he has seen the absolute truth. He can now give the knowledge, impart the knowledge to you. He says this, correct? So that's why the same question which something Sushi Mataji had, So those who are emotionally attached to Krishna, you can be perfectly all right. I'm no judge of anybody's level of bhakti. My bhakti is very poor, As I said, I also said that many of them are attached to Krishna, love Krishna. I would want to do that, the love. I just love him. And somebody told me this. My school classmate told me this after so many years. Why do this? I love Krishna. I said, so nice, man. I wasted my thing. I don't like this. I couldn't answer this question. I love Krishna. Such a beautiful answer. Also, I just love him. I said, so nice, man. I just love him. How nice. When will my time come to say I just love Krishna? Yeah. But the foreground of knowledge is very much essential. Otherwise, now just tell me if you just love Krishna, don't have philosophical understanding. Today you are answering questions that I asked. We are answering the question. Would it help you or not help you? You tell me this.
Yes, Prabhuji, it would definitely help me.
Yeah. So this is the answer, right? And those who say I just love him because there's nothing wrong. I can love him, but again, in Sampradaya, you should be able to connect with it. That's why you'll see many people. They say that my questions were not being able to answered by my parents. They were doing deity worship, or they were doing, but when I asked questions, they couldn't answer the questions. This happened to Guru Maharaj himself personally also, same thing. So when he came to Prabhupada's shelter, Guru Maharaj, that is when questions became answered. Oh, now I can answer all those questions. Otherwise, Guru Maharaj was rebellious as a child, and the temple priest in the village where there's a temple, the priest would call him. He's a rebellious boy, take him away. And so many questions Maharaj had, Guru Maharaj had. So the priest would say he's a rebellious character person, and very rebellious. Very clever, Yeah. Is it okay? Does it answer your question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. All right. So anyone else has any questions?
Hare Krishna. Can I ask a question?
Yes. You want to impromptu after discussion? You want to ask a question? Yeah, sure.
I had this question from before, but I thought it would be a good platform to discuss it. But I just wanted to thank everyone for their very nice questions, and thank you as well, Prabhuji, for very nice answers. It's definitely helped me as well in my understanding of this verse.
Hopefully it helped me.
Yeah, very much so. And I just had a question. Maybe you can reframe it properly. So Srila Prabhupada, in a couple of instances in the purport, and also in our discussion, we refer to this. So, exactly the quote you just said, about devotional service, the foreground of being of knowledge and detachment, right? But then Srila Prabhupada says, I'll just go to it. Srila Prabhupada says oral reception, right, of the Vedanta Shruti. And so it emphasizes on this oral reception. And similarly, when Srila Prabhupada talks about, a devotee needs to hear the scriptures from a bona fide or authoritative source, right, in order to progress in the devotional service. So my question is that So in terms of like oral reception, which is like Shravanam, is there a specific emphasis placed on that process of devotional service in terms of hearing?
Yes. Because among the 9 processes of bhakti, there are 9 processes of bhakti. Correct? Of the 9 processes of bhakti, the first one is what?
Shravana, hearing.
That's it. Hearing. Now, hearing meaning hearing from an authority. Now, hearing also means reading. Is it not so? Exactly. No difference. So that's why they say that those neophytes should hear from authority. So either by reading themselves or listening and changing their behavior accordingly. Not just they say, I've got 7 days leave, I took my 7 days off and to read. But I've heard people saying that I've taken 3 days off and I'm going morning till night for the Bhagavad Sapta. Because there's food arrangements over there also. That's why it's there. You have to go there nicely, And they say, okay, food is sponsored by this person, Green Garland, you get this, and all these things are going on. You go, this is so nice. I remember we were doing a class there so many years ago, 20 years ago, at a home. And one big guru had come here, Auckland, and in New Zealand. And my friend called me one day, He said, you must come to this program, listen to this class and all that. I said, why is he calling me like this? I said, no, I try to read myself, Instead of going there, I don't want to listen to this professional reciter. I said, no, 20 years ago, more than that, I read myself, He understood. He said, yeah, that's fine, After some days, I realized somebody else also they said, okay, he had said, now you must go and call at least one person to these programs and spread the knowledge. You see, this is how they do. But they will not read themselves. This person who called me, who went there, were our first students in Hare Krishna WECAN, first invited guest. Our whole program started by him and his wife. You see, and he called me like this. I don't know whether he's still studying or not. We're still friends. He's my friend, so. So this is how it is. Shravanam means reading and hearing both. But if you study properly, then you understand whom to hear from. So today, we may be very imperfect. I am completely imperfect. But the knowledge source we have given you. So tomorrow, if I also fall down or if I'm not falling properly, you are not at any loss. You know where the source is. You'll pray for me to say, let this rascal grow up properly. But you are doing it. Bhakti is going on. That's what we are doing. In Kali Yuga, please be like this. You remain nobody. Let everybody develop there, And yeah, it's up to Krishna. He wants to make somebody. Is that okay? This question all right? Answer all right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. I just have a follow-up.
Yeah.
So for our sampradaya, the knowledge, which is perfect, has been passed down through orally, right? Through hearing, and also through the writing as well, which is also a form of hearing. Is that is that specific to our sampradaya, or do other sampradayas also have?
No, others also. Like what we have is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when personally present, he gave this knowledge, to his followers, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers, who are following Mahaprabhu. And then there were Mahaprabhu's secretaries who wrote down this knowledge. And then there were disciples who all became Mohammedans, most of them, because the Muslim influence was very heavy. So Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami actually became Muslims. They took Muslim names also, although they were born in Saraswat Brahman family. Yeah. So Mahaprabhu said, now you got this knowledge. Now what I want you to do is, and they asked questions personally, personal answers were given. As I said, the same which were written there by Kaviraj Goswami, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the same arguments Prabhupada putting today after 400 years. This was 70 years ago. Prabhupada put this argument 50 years ago to the world, which we are using 50 years later on also. Same arguments, studying and speaking. Yeah. So Mahaprabhu then instructed all the disciples, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, the Jiva Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, that they wrote the books alone, sitting under trees in Vrindavan. Mendicants. And they wrote tons of books. So we should be reading those books also. Not all those books are translated by Prabhupada. So there's another way. I'll tell you when you're ready for it. And they're very deep books. Very, very deep. Exclusively about Krishna. And they have to write the books according to the time, place, and circumstances over there. Because at the time, the Brahman communities were very strong. So this Mahaprabhu's was completely a revolution. They said, no need to do any of these things. Chant Hare Krishna. It was rejected by everybody. They said, what are you doing? We are doing all this, deity worship, and it is wrong. We're wasting our time. That's why they went and told Mughal Badshah to say, all night these people are doing kirtans, wasting time. Nobody's coming to the temple doing deity worship. Stop this. Actually, the Mughal emperor came. The Mughal Chand Kazi came. Actually, they took help of same Sanatana Dharma took help of Muslim. So Muslim ruler, he came, Chand Kazi, to check witnessing himself. I'll take you to that place also in Mayapur. And he says, okay, I was like we have got noise pollution complaint in New Zealand. I don't know if this in India is there noise pollution. So the council guys will come. There's a noise pollution complaint against you. So this person came. We came to check upon you. You people are doing a lot of noise in the middle of the night, doing big loud kirtans. It's not allowed. So who complained? Fellow Hindus complained. Sanatana Goswami, Sanatana followers complained. So he said, I'll come. He should stop now. They did not stop. So he took the mridanga and he banged the mridanga. So broken mridanga. He broke the mridanga. The mridanga is still there in a temple. We have seen it. So the mridanga Chand Kazi, his name is Chand Kazi. So then, next day morning, Mahaprabhu, they all came to Mahaprabhu and said, they are stopping our Sankirtan movement. It is revolution. At the time, it was not acceptable. This kind of things. What is this jumping up and dancing, all these things? You don't have anything. Sannyasis cannot do such things. So Mahaprabhu first started the first civil disobedient movement. He said the whole of Navadvip come together. So he had 1 million people joined, having mashals. The mashals is what? Torch lights. In the night, they do kirtans, go to Chand Kazi. So he met Chand Kazi in his home. He was so afraid. He said, so many people are coming here. What is this? So what is your difficulty? Mahaprabhu said. And they had a philosophical discussion, Chand Kazi and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chand Kazi was so afraid. He said, listen, I'm like your uncle. As per Gramya relationship, as per relationship of the village, I'm your uncle. So you must be merciful upon me. He said, that's okay. But I want to know why you're doing this. And then there was a discourse, question answers with Chand Kazi and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu said to him, he was also a scholar of Islam. And Mahaprabhu answered, he is God, Allah himself. He answered the questions. What are the deficiencies there in your understanding of Islam? Ultimately, he became a Vaishnava. And there's a tree in Mayapur where Chand Kazis and Vaishnavism intertwingle. You cannot differentiate between the two. Two separate roots, but they intertwingle. The tree is also there in Mayapur, the Chand Kazi. And today also his followers, his disciples, and his family members, they still follow Vaishnavism. They may have their Muslim names, but it supersedes everything, you see. So this is how everything was written properly by the six Goswamis and implemented. So we are following that. And that is the reason why what we do is we make you read. I'm telling you this again. You do not understand how important is it how we are doing these things honestly here. So nobody is bound by any of these things. Tomorrow say I want to go away, no problem. Please. Free. Thank you for that we allow me to serve you. We're done, finished. But if you're cheated somewhere, you realize that person was so good, man. He kept me aloof from everybody. No bounding, no binding, no guru, no diksha, no this, no that, all clear. Nobody is giving me everything. It's free. This is how I want, this is how to be done in the future. Become nobody. Preach. Jar dako tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. Amar Agnar Guru Hanatarate. Somebody says, who is giving Agna? I'm telling Agna. Oh, my Guru told me, so I'm telling you. Do it. By Shiksha we can do. Full stop. Yeah. This is simple. No complication. And same thing. Further complications took place. So when Mahaprabhu inaugurated the movement, there were complications because the rigid caste Brahmanas, they were doing perfectly well. They did very nice worship and all those things. But again, Mayavadi, Vedanta Shruti, they were studying and worshipping and non-worshipping, all this was going on. He said, no, chant Hare Krishna. So they asked Mahaprabhu, we understand, you can chant it. When they saw Mahaprabhu, oh, Krishna, he just bowed down to them like this, sorry, 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 and sat down nicely. No, 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 don't sit down, sit up. He said, no, I'm okay. He said, why? We understand you want to chant Krishna, there's no harm, but why don't you read Vedanta Sutras? They say, you can chant, we have no objection to this. Then he answered all those questions. So our discussion, what we're discussing today, is part of that discussion. Mahaprabhu asked the questions by Mayavadi sannyasis. And that was written down. And that's why we are speaking. That's how you will speak. That's how it is done. Is that okay, Krishnadas?
Yes, Buddha. Thank you very much. It's very clear now.
I think I'm sure you know most of the answers there about Chankas and all, but I gave this so others would know about this. You've been to that place. Yeah, very nice, I think. Is there anybody else wants to have any questions? Ask any questions? Okay. You can think about it. I'll just come in a minute. Sorry, just hold the horses, please. I'll just come in a minute. Yeah. You can think if there are any questions. I'm happy to answer the questions. We can continue this discussion, and we'll not have the next class then. Yeah. I'll just take 2 minutes break.
Om Prabhu Hare Krishna, you can ask the question after the 2 minutes.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, I have to take a couple of minutes break. Yes, please. Somebody had a question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Bol Prabhuji. Yes, please.
Prabhuji, I'm sorry I was not able to write questions in the group. So can I ask question now?
Yes, that's fine.
Prabhuji, I had two questions. First one being that the second class devotee, they follow four regulative principle, but not fully detached. Like they are not fully detached with material uh, things. But a first class devotee is totally detached. So does it mean that first class devotees are sannyasis? Only sannyasis can be hold on to, because
What do you mean by sannyasis?
sannyasis who are totally detached from material world.
I understand. So one who wears white the dress, sannyasi?
No, Prabhuji, like yeah, like who wears the dress sannyasi and take
No.
sannyasi.
Dressing a chain of dress is not important. Sannyasi is important. One who has detached himself from the material world. He could be a grahastha also, family member also, a brahmachari also, a nobody. Just because somebody wears a sannyasi dress and has a title of His Holiness doesn't mean that His Holiness in its true sense. In Kali Yuga, you understand this point? A first class devotee is pure devotee who sees everybody as a devotee, not by changing of dress. Tomorrow you can change your dress and you become His Holiness. What is the big deal of it?
No, Prabhuji, by like is it necessary like not initiation but like sannyas ashram, taking sannyas ashram, because
So I
if
think we spoke big details. No need for it. In Kali Yuga, sannyasi ashram is actually not needed, prohibited. If somebody wants to take it, let them take it.
then probably the second question was like even hearing from non-devotees or someone who is like neophyte are giving lectures nowadays. So, but as you said that there was this great scholar like Sarvapalli Radhakrishna. He wrote his commentary on Bhagavad Gita, and for preaching uh, perspective or like this, one needs to read this kind of book to actually draw distinguish like which is right, which is wrong. So only the first class devotee should be doing that, because if someone who is on lower, not lower, who is like in a partial mood, who is not detached, his faith can be like get ruined, or he can fall down or get influenced. So is it necessary, or
Necessary for?
like to study like different like sampradayas? There are different sampradayas
No,
or
there's no need.
different.
There is no need.
I was able to frame my question well. Basically, it's like I am reading some other scholar just to uh, grab that what is right, like how our scripture is right, and how this the scriptures which are written by those great scholars regarding Krishna is wrong or is Mayavad philosophy. So I have to read it, but
You have to read it?
no, I was yeah, that was my. Do we have to read it, or
No, you don't have to read it. You see, should I frame the question in a particular way now that I understand a little bit more? Just correct me if I'm right in understanding this. Okay. So what you're saying is that Do we have to study other sampradaya or other philosophy to get proper knowledge, parallel knowledge? Yes or no? Correct?
Kind of. Yes.
Yeah, it was first thing. Second thing is a pure devotee is a sannyasi. So he has to study these books or not?
Yes.
So I question, sannyasi is not a pure devotee. Pure devotee service doesn't depend upon any sannyas, any brahmachari, grahastha, nobody. Tukaram Maharaj was not sannyasi. Ramdas was not sannyasi. Mirabai was not sannyasi. Okay. That doesn't mean sannyasi are not pure devotees. I'm saying change of dress doesn't make anybody anybody. Okay, is this clear? This point is clear. Second thing is this: if you read deeper philosophical books, that's why we worship Prabhupada. I've studied deeply. Whatever I study, I've not studied everything, but whatever I study, try to study very deeply, go in and understand things. And Prabhupada has given us information about everything. Okay. So comparative knowledge also he has given. Just to study our own scripture is taking how much. There are so many verses. Bhagavad Gita 600 verses. Bhagavatam has got 36,000 verses. Each verse has got so many explanations. Chaitanya Charitamrita has got 11,000 verses. After that, you want to study that, or between you want to study that? What are you going to do? You see? So that's why Bahunam Janmanam Ante, Krishna says, Nanvan Mam Prapadyante. One who has in true knowledge surrender unto me. Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Vasudeva is all in all. Some Mahatma Sadulabha. That Mahatma is very rare. It's not that easy. So even that's why we worship Prabhupada. Because Prabhupada has given us, in all of Prabhupada's books, everything about comparative knowledge. Be it Shunyavad, about Buddhism, about um, impersonalism also. If you study about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life and precepts, he's challenged by all these people. So details are given. What did they say? What did he say? What was this philosophy? What is this? Why did he say this? Then explanation is given that why he said this, answering this because the question was this. You want to understand the question difference. I mean, I don't even understand the difference in the questions or the answers, but the detailed explanations are so much. It takes me. I'm telling you, sometimes one purport I break down into parts, 1 2 pages, 1 2 pages, 1 2 pages per day to understand this. Whatever time I could study, making notes, understanding, it's very hard. So everything is given there, compared to knowledge. And once you study this Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam from zero onwards, automatically by the time the ninth canto comes, you'll be equipped. You say, no, this is correct, this is perfect. Do you understand this yourself? Because comparative knowledge is given to you. And no, it is not needed to study this. You don't require to take sannyas. You have your nice children, let them jump on your head and you read Bhagavatam. What's the difficulty? You must have 5 children, as I told you. 4 is best. 3 is good. 2 is okay. No problem. Okay, now. I read Bhagavatam. Very nice. Have a own pattern. Make the read Bhagavatam. Best preaching. You go with all your, come on, let's go. Everybody's coming in a Bhagavatam. Everybody's doing Harinam together. Best. We don't require anybody else. That's how it should be done. Bhagavatam says this, Rishabhdev says this. You must have hundreds of children like this if they are devotees. Why not? Yeah. So you don't require to be just Vaishnava. And don't be enamored by somebody wearing sannyas dress or Brahmana dress, brahmachari dress. We respect, but we know what is what. Doesn't mean they're bad, they're wrong, they're right. But that is not the only way of discrimination. You must have heard it in my class. I say it all the time. Yeah, simple. But our knowledge is based upon, our foundation is based upon our knowledge, strict knowledge. Study group. We are study group. If you don't study, you'll be jumping around, do this or do that, that guru or this guru and this is and that is exactly what goes on everywhere. And I said, don't talk to me. Apart from that, kuch zarurat nahi. Thank you very much. It is allowed, the chocolate is allowed, chocolate not allowed. I said, I don't need chocolate, I don't need mushrooms. Thank you very much. Don't ask me. I don't need. Is it all right? Is it all right? Is the question answered?
Yes, sir.
Hare Krishna, there was a lot of lag though, especially towards the last end of your point, last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that's okay. We understood the point. Hope everybody understood the point. But anybody else has anything to say? Any other questions, please?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, very well.
So I had one question from a very long time ago. So I asked this to
Okay.
Avinash a few weeks ago.
Okay.
I have to ask that question. So, Prabhuji, you had mentioned that for a sampradaya, like sampradaya is important for the knowledge, right? So I had this question that Prabhupada had said that Lord Jesus Christ is a Vaishnava, right?
Yeah.
He was a Vaishnava, he was a devotee of Lord. So, but we do not know that he followed any of the sampradaya, because if someone says you are I'm a Vaishnava, we strictly follow that you must be in one of the four bona fide sampradaya. But that was not the case with Lord Jesus Christ. So how does that work?
Yeah, very good question. So tell me, we accept him as Shaktavesh Avatar. You know? So, but his teachings is love God. Prabhupada said, our understanding is only this. What did they say? Love God, right? We are saying love God, love Krishna. That's it. He's son of God. We accept it. We are all children of God. He's the best son of God. We accept this. And he says you love God, and we accept love God. And he's a Shaktavesh Avatar according to his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. So we accept that full stop. Now there are again some elements where he says he stayed in Jagannath Puri for some time. All these things are there. So that's okay. I don't know whether it can be proved or not, but the knowledge is this. That's why Prabhupada says he's a Vaishnava. Anybody who says love God is a Vaishnava. Now you may not be in a Sampradaya, okay, but he's a Shaktavesh Avatar. But if an ordinary person says love God, he's a good candidate to become a Vaishnava. But knowledge has to come from some source of Sampradaya. Sampradaya knowledge is important because now you understand why. Because the Vedanta Sutras have to be written by Sampradaya in Sanatana Dharma. Then it is acceptable. Otherwise, it is not acceptable. And because of which our Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya was outcast for many years. Not outcast, but were criticized, excuse me, for many years. Yeah. So if an ordinary person says, I love God, he is a candidate for being a Vaishnava. Jesus Christ we accept because our Acharyas accepted it as Shaktavesh Avatar. So we just full stop.
Even Avinash Ji had answered that Vaishnava is a person by quality. So Vaishnava we are by quality. But wouldn't that like contradict the point that if anyone comes and says that you have to love God and says all the right things, but he's not in a sampradaya. So is that a person to be accepted or not? Because he's saying the right things, but Sampradaya.
Yeah, I told you. No? Answer. He's a good candidate for being a Vaishnava. But on what basis he's saying it? Some knowledge has to be there. From there you can pick up. He cannot manufacture his own knowledge. That is not acceptable. So it has to be in Sampradaya. And that candidate is a good candidate. Without knowledge, if he's talking about God, then he has to be in Sampradaya. That's a good candidate. It is religion without philosophy is mental speculation. So bona fide. To be bona fide, you have to be in knowledge has to be coming from a Sampradaya. That's why we say purity of knowledge is very important. You must have heard me saying this. Now it will fall into place. This is the reason why. Because if you change anything, you are doing something else. You're on your own. You're destroying Sampradaya's knowledge. So preaching is very dangerous. It's very good also, it's very dangerous. Very good for our bhakti, very dangerous. It should not go in our head and you try to say something wrong. Is that okay?
Yes. So, Toji, this one point I wanted to clear if I have understood it correctly. So, all the four Vaishnava bona fide sampradayas, they all revolve around loving God, loving Krishna. So, if anyone
Krishna.
comes up, yes, if anyone randomly comes up and says, he says about talking about love of God. So ultimately, he'll be coming to this point itself because all the things that are related to love of God, everything is there in our sampradaya and in all the Vaishnava sampradaya. So ultimately, he would be quoting from here itself because he, like you said, he cannot manufacture anything new because all the things are already there. So there might be two cases. If he might be whimsically saying, or if he is saying from correct sources, so he must be like thanking the sampradaya or accepting that I have taken this knowledge from that sampradaya. So I think these two might be.
Yeah. Or they will be constructing between here and there, creating his own situation.
Thank you, that answered my question.
Yeah. Because remember, this sampradaya is not as clear cut. I was to tell all of you about even our Brahma Madhva Gaura Sampradaya is not as clear cut. Kali Yuga always they contaminates things, you see. I hardly find devotees who really go deep into the subject matter. Most of them say, yeah, you don't have deep knowledge on this. But I found some very deep, and I really appreciate it. Yeah. All right, is that okay?
Like when I'm talking about it, I'm getting more and more questions, so I don't know if I should ask or not.
Yeah, ask. You got to finish soon.
One last question for you. So all these sampradayas have their conclusions that we talked about. So and the scriptures are also revealed at at according to time, place, and circumstances. The scriptures are revealed. Some are hidden. Some are like we talked about. Uh, uh, Brahma Samhita, how Chaitanya Prabhu had revived it. So these conclusions, do
Part of
they
it. There
change?
were only few chapters. All the chapters were lost. Only few chapters were remaining. He brought that. Yeah.
So these conclusions, do they change over time because the Shastras also change?
No. Conclusions of Shastra doesn't change. Interpretations change. That is why different sampradayas we require bona fide sampradaya. The same verse is there, Bhagavad Gita, Aham Saraswata Prabhavo. We say, Aham means Krishna Saraswata Prabhu. He is the supreme. Everything comes from him, he's saying. Others will say, no, not Krishna. Instead, something else is there inside. From him, everything comes. Conclusions never change in the scriptures. Interpretations will change. That is why Mahaprabhu also told in the arguments, I don't want to reveal too much now, it's beyond our capacity. But even to the Mahavad Sannyasi said that Sripa Shankaracharya, he said that even Vyasadeva is wrong. He's completely wrong in saying that. Because Vyasadev's Vedanta Sutras talked about personalism. The same was twisted for the reason because everybody was um, uh, Buddhist at the time. So to bring them from nothingness to something which is spirit soul is eternal. Yeah. Because Buddhism meaning what? The soul and the body, they keep coming back again and again till the time you get nirvana. Then both are destroyed. Soul and the spirit and the body also. This is that philosophy. In simple terms. Whereas that's why when the whole world, apart from India, everything else was not much of an existence on spiritual things, So for them they said, okay, Sripa Shankaracharya said that it's not about that the body is destroyed and the soul is destroyed. So no, soul is never destroyed. So it brought to that level. But everything is not nothingness, but it is impersonal. So that was a little bit palatable to people to bring them. So a mass conversion took place from Buddhism to Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma. He brought them back to this Sanatana Dharma. And after that, when time passed, then personalists came. Now, interestingly, even Buddhism, Lord Buddha is a Shaktavesh avatar of Krishna. See? Shakti Avesh avatar of Krishna. So he brought this because of the reason. Because previous to that, everything was gone. Vedic Dharma was completely not followed. So this innovation always took place. And you will find this at some point in time. I'll tell you how innovation took place in our Sampradaya also. It's a little premature right now. That's why I say it's never black and white. So more questions you ask, more answers you will get. If you don't ask any questions, you don't get any answers. Because today, after this water example, it is more clearer than previous time when I said like this, you don't understand anything. We gave it just to you because you never asked the question. Now you're thinking, so we're giving you this answer that comes. That's why I like questions. That means you're thinking, you're asking, you thought about it, they'll give you an answer. Relation. This is how human mind works, Okay?
Yes, thank you.
We
So,
conclude now.
yes, Rohit. So if we have any questions on any classes, can we post on our respective groups, like for the normal
On
classes
this
also?
topic, you want a question on this topic?
No, Prabhuji. If any class we have, any discourse we have, or even like beginners or any classes that we have, so we can post throughout the week on the group, respective groups.
No, that I don't know how it will be structured. I think better would be, why don't we have a open question answer session, like we've got realizations program. So if there's any general questions, if anyone has on any of the philosophy, you can pose a question till Wednesday. We can have a date where this is the question answer session day. These are the questions we've got. If everybody agrees to this, if everybody has this way, no overall program which says if you have any questions on any point, then by Wednesday you ask, and we'll let you know that next Sunday is going to be a question answer session. So if you have any questions, ask by Wednesday or something, and we can have that 2-3 hours, whatever time it is there. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. So we can work with that. Then it's fine. So we can add another discussion point like we have got, So we can have a discussion about question answers. This wonderful. Hare Krishna. So whose turn is it to sing Maharaj, please hear us? Is it my turn?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण नवीनाजी तुमचं टर्न आहे
Yes, Prabhuji.
कसे आहात तुम्ही
छान आहे Prabhuji.
छान आहे बरे आहात ना थंड वाजते
हा
की
मी
नाही
पण
अजून पण थंड वाजते
हा थंड आहे
थंड
तुम्ही
आहे
कशी आहात
हो मी पण ठणठणीत आहे खूप थंड आहे
हा.
कुल्फी झालो मी कुल्फी हीटर चालते पण मी कुल्फी झालो okay very nice now sing nicely with actions okay we'll follow you all right 1 2 3
Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us. We have learned some real good stuff. Maharaj, we have learned one thing. And today for you we will sing. If our room is clean, then our mind is clean. If our mind is clean, we can do anything. If our room is dirty, then so are we. And if we are dirty, we're not happy. Wasting time is the greatest crime. Because wasted time means a wasted mind. So best use your time when you're in your prime. And your whole life will be sublime. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
if your wealth is gone
If your wealth is gone, then there's nothing wrong. But if your health is gone, that's a different song. But if your character dies, then the world will cry. Only saintly behavior that humanity die. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama. We must always remember Krishna and never forget him too. But how are we to practice this with so many things to do? That is the greatest question. And here is the greatest clue. You must learn to work so nicely that Krishna remembers you. So listen very closely and make your thinking sharp. Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart. If something's due tomorrow, finish it today. And whatever's due today, do it now, don't delay. Your friends might be lazy or doing bad things. You think again, don't follow them, and you will win in the end. Whatever work we're given, we do our very best. We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest. This is how to live, to work, and to play. If you learn to live this way, we'll see Krishna every day. And when our time is up, he'll pick himself up, oh. We're singing jazz with him with our hearts full of love. So chant Krishna's names, his glories and his fame is the only way this world will ever become sane. Now please ask this greatest question and find this greatest clue. You can only remember Krishna if Krishna remembers you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Holiness Srila Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj Guru Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Srimati Mahavishnu Goswami Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurmani Prasayana Nivishesha Dori Sai. So just before we go, I would once again like to thank all of you for your very nice questions, wonderful questions. I'm sure it benefited everybody. I do not know about others, it benefited me. Thank you very much. And you sure you want to have a separate session and we add a new section which is question answers program? Just raise your hands if you want to. You don't have to. I just want to understand a question answer program. Okay. All right. So we'll add another category. We'll have question answer program for all. Okay. We'll let you know when it starts there. Hare Krishna. We'll meet Krishna willing. We'll meet you next week, same place, same time. Till then, chant Hare Krishna and you'll be happy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Hare
thank you.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, thank you Prabhuji.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.